Huawei's Pura X became one of 2025's biggest surprises. It sold over 1.5 million units, even beating the combined sales of phones ranked second to 34th. But numbers aren't the real story here. The bigger shock? Huawei created a completely new foldable category and proved smartphone design still has room to evolve. And now they're pushing even further with the world's first mass-produced large-format foldable, the Pura X Max. Big thanks to my tech partner over in China for providing this footage. I really appreciate the support in making this video happen. Hey everyone, Stella here from techiestreet. If you're into staying updated with the newest gadgets, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our latest tech content. After using it for a while, one thing became clear. This isn't just a bigger Pura X. It feels like Huawei's idea of the ultimate foldable done in a more traditional way. Let's get into it. Right away, Huawei also released new colors for the regular Pura X, which tells us something important. The Pura X Max is not replacing it. These are two different foldables for two different users, though both clearly target content creators. The design language is still similar, same racetrack-style camera module and textured back. Compared to Mate foldables, this one feels slimmer, more stylish, and easier to carry, almost like holding a luxury wallet. Huawei's Pura series has always gone bold with design, and this year, Interstellar Blue and Zero White really stand out. They look elegant, modern, and instantly recognizable. Huawei even has a dedicated design center in Paris focused on aesthetics and craftsmanship. And honestly, when it comes to understanding mature female users, Huawei still feels ahead of most domestic smartphone brands. Compared to the regular Pura X, the biggest upgrade after the size is the outer display. Since the camera module moved to the other side, the cover screen is now larger and feels much closer to a normal smartphone. That means apps, even third-party ones, run naturally without extra optimization, while still keeping the personalized style from the original Pura X. If you've used foldables before, this instantly feels more familiar and easier to adapt to. The extra space also lets Huawei upgrade the cameras in a big way. The Pura X Max gets a larger main sensor, a wider aperture, and even a periscope telephoto lens with macro support. For people who avoided foldables because of camera compromises, this could change everything. But the real difference appears the second you unfold it. The inner display gives you an almost 16:11 widescreen experience, and the larger size immediately feels more immersive. Everything looks bigger, wider, and somehow more satisfying to use. You can tell Huawei wanted this display experience to be the heart of the device. The Pura X Max uses a 7.7-inch inner display, which Huawei says is the ideal maximum size after extensive testing. They first locked in the widescreen ratio for content viewing, then studied normal viewing distance and eye movement comfort. According to Huawei, 7.7 inches was the sweet spot. Any larger, and users would constantly need to move their eyes or even their heads while using the phone. Now here's a detail most people would miss. The display ratio is close to 16:11, or more precisely, square root of 2:1, the exact same ratio as A4 paper. That matters because when you fold A4 paper in half, the proportions stay the same. Huawei used that same idea here. The outer display is a 5.4-inch elongated screen with almost the same ratio, creating a much smoother transition between the inner and outer displays. It also helps the cover screen keep some of the multitasking advantages from the original Pura X. For example, the interface can show 3 or even 4 panels at once, and because the outer screen is so spacious, Huawei added an inbuilt AI companion. Double tap the navigation bar and it launches instantly. On one side, you get an app window with that paper-like ratio, making content easy to read. On the other, Xiaoyi, Huawei's AI assistant, analyzes whatever's on your screen in real time. It can explain terms, summarize information, or even pull reminders and tasks from your chats with one tap. And yes, it works on both displays. as for the inner display, it continues what made the original Pura X so good, especially when handling content with different aspect ratios. And I've also prepared the real-world screen fill rates for common content on this display. As you can see, this display handles different aspect ratios insanely well. 16:9 videos, 4:3 images, 3:2 photos. Everything fits beautifully. Even ultra-wide 21:9 movies use more screen space here than on many normal foldables. Across the 5 most common content types we tested, the screen experience stayed balanced and consistent. And once you combine that with the outer display ratio, this honestly feels like one of the smartest foldable layouts right now. Another huge advantage is document viewing. Contracts, manuals, ebooks, they display naturally without ugly black borders everywhere. This has always been one of Huawei's biggest strengths with foldables, and the Pura X Max pushes it even further. Inside the settings menu, you get a tablet-style dual-column layout, plus WeChat tablet mode login support. There's also panoramic multi-window support, which makes multitasking and landscape mode feel smooth and surprisingly natural. If the original Pura X felt like a phone experimenting with a better screen ratio, the Pura X Max feels like the full vision finally coming together. Folded, it works like a phone. Opened, it genuinely feels like a tablet. And honestly, that's what most people imagine when they think about the perfect foldable. We've seen concepts like this before. If Huawei wanted to continue the outer display idea from the original Pura X, then something like the Mate XT Triple Fold makes sense. But if the focus is immersive entertainment and content consumption, the Pura X Max gives a completely different answer. Once you unfold it, the experience becomes incredibly tablet-like. It feels made for relaxing on a sofa, watching videos, reading, or casually multitasking. And because the display is this good, Huawei expanded the experience around it too. The phone supports Huawei's MP3 mini stylus, designed specifically for this larger foldable. And honestly, the best part is portable note-taking. It feels like carrying a tiny notebook in your pocket, except now you don't need to carry anything extra. Just open the phone and start writing instantly. The large display also makes light creative work actually practical. There's even a built-in drawing feature appearing on a phone for the first time, alongside AI-powered creative tools inside the Notes app. And for once, these features don't feel gimmicky. The screen finally gives them enough space to be useful. The truth is, people have wanted this kind of experience for years. The problem was always balancing portability with productivity, but devices like the Pura X Max are finally starting to solve that. And after using it, I think it's obvious why this foldable stands out. I genuinely like this product. Honestly, even the original Pura X. What surprised me most is that they don't feel experimental or futuristic. They feel normal, in a good way. Everything feels designed around real habits and practical everyday use. We already talked about how well this display works for content, but before ending, there's one more thing worth mentioning: execution. The idea itself isn't hard to imagine. The hard part is making it actually work in real life. It's not just about scaling videos correctly. Apps also need to adapt naturally to the screen, and on a display with proportions like this, UI optimization becomes extremely difficult. To pull this off, you need strong software development tools, a strong app ecosystem, and developers willing to support the platform. Without all of that, the experience falls apart. But during my time with the Pura X Max, both Huawei apps and third-party apps adapted surprisingly well. Layouts adjusted intelligently, depending on rotation and screen ratio, moving buttons and content smoothly. In some cases, displaying information even felt more efficient than on a normal smartphone. A huge reason for that is Huawei's software and hardware integration over the past few years. And honestly, very few companies could deliver this level of polish right now. This device blends smartphone thinking with tablet thinking better than almost anything we've seen so far, and it could seriously influence where foldables go next. But this category is also incredibly difficult to compete in. Only companies willing to keep experimenting, solving engineering problems, and pushing new form factors will survive here. Now that the Pura X Max is officially here, the big question is, how will the rest of the industry respond? The Huawei Pura X Max starts at 10,999 yuan in China, roughly 1,193 pounds in the UK, and around 1,613 US dollars in the US. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys!